None of them realized just how closely they were being watched. They were going through everyday life without knowing that some of those people had no intention of leaving them alone.
It's a really terrifying experience when...
What is wrong with you?
What do you mean?
But before you see how far the situation went, let's begin with the first disturbing encounter. On the 27th of March 2023, 25-year-old Lisa was walking alone on the street. This was supposed to be another memorable evening during her backpacking trip through Tokyo. She had spent the day exploring the city and was walking alone through the streets later that night when she began to notice the same man behind her. At first, she tried not to overthink it, but several minutes passed, and the man remained uncomfortably close. Whenever Lisa walked faster, he appeared to speed up as well. When she changed direction, he continued following her. The streets around her were becoming quieter, and she had no idea where he intended to go or why he refused to walk past her. Feeling increasingly unsafe, Lisa finally pulled out her phone and began recording.
You okay, mate?
Yeah?
大丈夫?
The moment the man realized the camera was pointed at him, his behavior changed completely. He suddenly overtook her and began moving his hands awkwardly while pretending that he had never been following her. Only moments earlier, he had been walking closely behind her. But now that his face was being captured, he appeared desperate to make the entire situation look innocent. Lisa eventually managed to get away without being harmed. But one question continued to bother her. What would have happened if she had never taken out her phone? Would he have eventually left her alone? Or had the camera prevented the situation from becoming something far worse? She had traveled to Tokyo to explore a new city and enjoy the freedom of backpacking. Instead, an ordinary walk back through the city became terrifying because a stranger decided to follow her through the night. And perhaps the most disturbing part is that he did not back away when he noticed that she was uncomfortable. He only backed away when he realized there was now evidence of what he had been doing. Did you find this disturbing? Then brace yourself for what you're about to see next. Adventure Travel and Raw Moments is the channel run by Valerie, a traveler known for her upbeat, spontaneous journeys. Normally, her adventures are full of kindness and connection. But on this night, hitchhiking solo through Turkestan toward Aristanbab, the tone shifted into something far less expected. This video documents that journey, a trip meant to be ordinary, yet one that turned into a quiet test of boundaries and instinct.
I'm just a few hundred meters away from the city center in Turkestan, and it's sad to see, but it looks like a different world. The streets are full of potholes, they're scattered everywhere. The contrast is very big, like the huge buildings and the fountains. Yeah, it's like the same city, right? Bye-bye! So I didn't come very far today, not yet. A friendly man took me with him, even though he didn't have to go this direction. He was very friendly that he took me some kilometers outside of the city center, so it's easier to get another lift here. He was afraid that his wife would be jealous, so I didn't show him on camera. But yeah, here I'm on a proper road, good for hitchhiking.
From the beginning, the contrasts of Turkestan set the scene. Valerie moves between them with her usual optimism, trying to cover distance before dark to reach Aristanbab in time to pitch her tent.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So lucky I met this family. They were so sweet. And they took me like 1 hour from Turkestan to Aristanbab. I wanted to come here because there's a beautiful mausoleum and a mosque, and it's a bit more rural here. It was like dirt road, nothing to see, but yeah, that's Kazakhstan. I love that. So cool. And now I'm looking for a spot to set up my tent, somewhere with a good view. I would love to wake up and see the mausoleum in the morning, so I try to go somewhere on the field.
Eventually, she finds a spot with a view of the mosque, racing the dusk to set up her tent without drawing attention. Horses move in the distance, their silhouettes drifting through the last light, and unseen voices carry faintly across the field. It is beautiful but exposed, the kind of place where quiet doesn't necessarily mean alone.
Two mosquitoes in here. It is actually soft. The size is just perfect. I'm glad about this tent. Woo, my first night in a tent in Kazakhstan. My first night in this tent also. It's very basic, but it brought me here, so it's good. I'm thankful I have it, because tent always means flexibility, and that's what I love. Actually, the driver brought me to a guest house, which is like 200 meters from here, and thought I wanted to sleep there, but then I said, no, actually I have my tent with me, and I said I will just go to the field.
Valerie settles into her tent, the field around her quiet under the fading light. The air carries that first night excitement, the kind that comes with being free to choose your own view of the morning. But what feels calm and promising now will soon shift entirely as the night brings an encounter she never expected.
I had probably slept for 1 hour until I heard a noise. It was the horses coming closer to my tent. Hello. So I opened the door to watch them and welcome them. But then a car approached. There is someone in the car. I hope he doesn't mind me camping here on his ground.
Қазақша білмейді екен деп ағыз.
WhatsApp берші, телефонды.
Bye bye. Thank you. Kazakhstan, thank you. Bye. What was that? It was so weird. Okay, so obviously these people are the owner of the field and the horses. So they came to check on them and they saw my tent, and I was already watching the horses. So I went outside to speak with them and ask them if it's okay that I sleep here on their field.
The landowners were curious and luckily very friendly, eager to know who Valerie is and why she has chosen this field for the night. Through translation apps and exchanged smiles, the conversation stretches on. A little awkward, but never hostile. It seems like nothing more than a passing interaction with strangers. Though before long, the night will show that not every visit to her tent would remain so friendly. Because in the middle of the night, around 3 a.m., the car returned. Only this time, the man was alone. His wife no longer with him.
can't believe I just called this man friendly. I'm so disappointed. It's 3 a.m. I heard a noise, someone was saying something. I opened the door of my tent, and then he was there again, like very close. And he was like making a kissing gesture. And I said, what? I was still like, I didn't understand what was going on because I just woke up, and he really tried to go into my tent. I had to stop him and push him away, and he said, what are you doing? No. Like clearly said, no. And he wouldn't understand, like he wouldn't want to understand. I was like in such a shock because I didn't get why, like what was happening, and I kept saying no, and he wanted to still like come inside. Eventually he said, yeah, phone to speak, like Google Translate, and I said, no, leave me alone, no, go. And I think I said this for 2 minutes straight until he finally left. But man, I've never had that before. And yeah, now he went back into his car. I don't know, will he return or not? So it's a bit stupid situation right now. And I mean, so sad, because they were friendly and stuff, but this really destroyed it, unfortunately. And it was the first time I didn't really feel 100% safe. I mean, I was sure that one day I will face these kind of situations, but yeah, it just didn't happen to me yet. Yeah, now I placed my cutlery next to me, just in case. I don't think he will come back, but you never know.
For anyone in Valerie's position, this moment would be deeply unsettling. To be pulled from sleep by movement outside your tent, only to realize it isn't an animal, but a man standing there alone, is the kind of shock that unravels any sense of safety. The stillness of the night makes every sound sharper, every second longer, and the thin fabric between you and the outside world feels far too fragile. It's the kind of situation where fear and disbelief collide, leaving you painfully aware of how vulnerable you really are. In the hours until dawn, she barely sleeps. Every sound becomes sharper, the rubbing of the sleeping. And when morning finally comes, it is quiet, almost serene, as though the night never happened. Days later, editing this footage, Valerie reflects on what she could have done differently.
By the time I edited this video, a few days had passed since this incident had happened, and I had time to think about how the situation came about. Yes, I was in short clothes when I talked to the farmer and his wife because I was sleeping before. Yes, I shared my social media accounts with them. Yes, I answered their questions honestly, that I was traveling alone and that I'm not married. And yes, I was super friendly as always, I smiled a lot. But they were a married couple and seemed warm-hearted, even though they should have noticed that it's not the best behavior to interrupt my sleep at 1:30 in the morning for such a long time. And still, I would have never expected him to return without his wife.
She writes down new rules for herself. Clearer boundaries, fewer smiles when something feels wrong, small protective fictions like pretending she's not alone. They're changes she doesn't want to make, but ones she knows might protect her courage, the very thing that allows her to travel the way she does. This wasn't the story she wanted to tell, but it became the story she needed to share. By the time she leaves, the field looks calm again, but the memory of the night lingers, a reminder that even the most beautiful journeys can carry shadows. And it leaves a question for you. How would you have reacted, waking to find yourself in her place? Let me know in the comments below. But unfortunately, she is not the only girl experiencing these things. Have a look at this next encounter. Ginity had already been walking for several hours when viewers began noticing something she had not. A man dressed entirely in black had appeared behind her again and again, always keeping enough distance to avoid confrontation, but never disappearing completely. His hood was pulled over his head, his face was almost entirely covered, and despite following her for more than 2 hours, he never approached the stream or explained why he was there. Viewers in her chat began warning her to stay alert, and that was when the situation became truly creepy.
The guy in dark clothes, oh, he's there. He's there. Do you see him? Yeah, I cannot see his face at all. He's like ninja. There's the hood guy. Hood guy is it's more sus and scary because we cannot see his face at all. His face is completely covered. And then he doesn't even come and say hi. He doesn't even talk to me. He just like follows. He's moving. Please take a video of him too. He's gonna be on the news. Holy shit.
As the stream continued, the same figure remained nearby. The longer it continued, the more alarmed her audience became. Viewers began sending donations and repeatedly warned Ginny not to confront him alone. Some told her to stop walking and let him pass. Others urged her to enter a public place or contact the police. But even after Ginny believed she had finally lost him, she later spotted the same man waiting near a bus station ahead of her. That meant he had not simply been walking behind her. He had moved ahead and positioned himself somewhere along her route.
Ginny, you should use a drone to check out that stalker.
Should we? But I don't want to waste my drone battery. We gotta fly a drone at the easternmost part.
If the stalker is ahead of you, are you the stalker? Creepy champ.
Okay. Like for example, Amaranth had like a stalker flying from another country and then found her address, and then he was caught in the camera. He was in her like house nearby. Amaranth has serious stalker, and then those people who said that would be like, he's just staying there, get over yourself. They would say that. So dumb.
But
the dude's gone. Dude's over there. What is he doing? Looks like he's like collecting something. Oh, there's a police officer. Oh, well, I think someone called.
By this point, someone watching the live stream had already contacted the authorities. A police officer arrived and approached the masked man while Ginny explained that he had been following her for hours. She asked the officer to tell him to stop, and the man was eventually placed inside a police vehicle and taken away.
Okay. Thank you. There. But yes. But he stop following. Can you tell him stop following me? Yeah. Thank you. So I asked police officer to tell him to stop following me.
Police asking him to show his face.
Police officers asking him to show his face. Stalker was so scary. Oh no. We have a picture of the stalker news. And then the guy who looks like a reaper was following me. I was like, it was increasing my anxiety. Like,
after the stream, Ginny learned that the encounter had continued even after she left. According to reports she later discussed, the man became aggressive while officers were questioning him and was taken to a hospital for evaluation. Authorities reportedly believed that he was experiencing serious mental health problems.
Any updates on the stalker? Oh, yes. So, there was a news. Police said, he got aggressive when police officers were investigating him. Yeah, he went to hospital. It was on TV news.
It was on TV news. He got institutionalized. I think he had like a little bit of mental problem. That's what the news and police officers said. Yeah, he's gonna get all the help he needs in the hospital.
That may explain some of his behavior, but it did not make the experience any less frightening for Ginny. For more than 2 hours, she had been followed by someone whose face she could not see and whose intentions she could not understand. And had thousands of viewers not been watching closely enough to notice him, Ginny may have continued walking without ever realizing how long he had been behind her. Ginny eventually realized she was being followed. The next woman only discovered the stranger after watching the footage the following morning. Mary is the creator behind Maximalist Minibus, a YouTube channel where she documents her outdoor life, campground routines, and life around her bus. Most of her videos have a calm, honest feeling to them. But on September 10th, 2025, that calm was broken by something she never expected to catch on camera. After putting it off for over a year, Mary finally set up a solar-powered trail camera near her tent. She expected to capture raccoons, deer, or maybe small animals moving through the campsite at night. Instead, she ended up recording a stranger entering her space while she was not there.
I had this camera for at least a year, maybe more, maybe even 2 years. It's a trail cam with a little solar panel on the top, and it has its own power and everything. And I searched for it because I wanted one that had its own power so I could put it anywhere. Didn't have to worry about whether I have power there. And it has the solar panel, and then it also has inside this little door, it has battery backup. You're supposed to put batteries in it, which I haven't done yet. Surprise, surprise. But anyway, the batteries are like C batteries, or, oh no, actually, you know what? It's 4 AA's. So I got to get AA batteries, but it works without it. So I should still be able to set it up. But the reason I haven't set it up is because it takes an SD card, and I have SD cards, but they're, I don't have any this small. It only takes it can only be a maximum 32 megabyte SD card. So I've had it on my list on and off forever to buy a card for this thing. And finally, I was at Walmart and I remembered. So I got an SD card. So now tonight I can set this up. I'm going to put the camera on this little footstool that I always put in front of my tent when I close it up for the night. It's basically just shooting right next to the bus. Probably not the most exciting place to put the camera. Probably should put it over by the creek. But for the first night, I don't even know if it's set up right. So I'm just going to leave it here.
She placed the camera on a footstool near the tent, pointed toward the bus and camp area. The setup was simple, almost casual. But the next morning, something felt wrong. Her tent had been unzipped from the top down in a way that did not look accidental. At first, she nearly ignored it. Then she remembered the camera. And when she checked the footage, she realized someone had been there in the middle of the night.
First part, it shot at like 8:30, and it just got like some campers walking to the restroom, but then nothing until 2:30. And then at 2:30, you should see these headlights. So it looks like the car's coming from around, like maybe either somebody drove in and they're turning around right now, or I don't know. I don't think it's a camper, but so the headlights come this way, and then it's a pickup truck that goes by. I don't recognize it. It could belong to a camper, could belong to somebody in the cabins up the road, but I know most of those cars. It's not a vehicle I recognize. Let's start with that. But right after it goes by, keep your eye on this over here. Okay, there he is. You see him? He's got glasses on that are shining. He's got on a baseball cap. It looks like he might have a goatee. And here he comes. He walks across. See, he's got a trash bag, it looks like. And I thought at first he had a backpack on, but you'll see in a minute it's not a backpack. So he walks by. And then it missed the first part of him, but then he comes back with a flashlight. And he's coming around, like, I have a table over here with a bunch of stuff on it. He's coming around probably checking out what's on that table. I think okay, now look, here he comes. Now he's shining the flashlight in through the mesh of the tent, trying to see what's inside the tent. And you can see, like, his pants are all kind of frayed and everything. But he leaves again. He walks by, and he's going, like, probably over to the golf cart to see what's in the golf cart, because the golf cart's parked in front of the bus. And then he goes around. I think he must probably go around the bus and come back again, because give it a second. He's going to come back. There he goes. Coming back around for another chance. And this time, he's not going to just look inside the tent. This time, yeah. Give him a second. There he goes. He's coming right to the tent. And look at this. He moves the camera. I mean, he moves the camera. I guess he doesn't know it's a camera, but he moves the steps with the camera so that he can unzip the tent and get inside. And then he's inside the tent for all. You can hear him plunking around, moving things, stuff like that. Moving stuff around. And then the movement stops, so the camera kind of stops recording.
Around 2:30 a.m., an unfamiliar pickup truck rolled past the campsite. Moments later, a man appeared from the darkness, wearing a baseball cap and glasses, with what looked like a trash bag draped over his shoulders against the rain. What made it so unsettling was how calmly he moved. He did not look rushed. He walked through the campsite, shined a flashlight around her belongings, checked the area near the tent, and then came back for a closer look. At one point, he shined the light directly through the tent mesh, trying to see what was inside. Then, he moved the footstool, not realizing the camera was on it, unzipped the tent, and went in. For several minutes, he stayed inside, moving through her things in the dark.
You can hear him still, but you can't see him. There he goes. Now he comes out. He's got that jug of water, which I think he had going in, but he's got a trash bag, and he's wearing a trash bag. It's not a backpack. But it was pouring rain last night, so I can understand why he'd have something to protect him from the rain. But that's it. That's the whole thing. So I've been looking around trying to figure out what he took, but I can't really find anything. I mean, the most obvious thing would have been this tablet. I mean, I don't leave my laptop in here, so tablet would have been the next best thing. He didn't take it. Then again, it's kind of old school. Maybe he's an electronic snob. I don't know. My printer's here. This is a good printer. He didn't take that. Umbrella lights. Solar umbrella lights. Those would probably be good if you were camping or something. Maybe, I don't know. He didn't take them. Ryobi charger would only be good if you had Ryobi tools. Elvis glasses. Yeah, all this stuff is still here. Oh, my hummingbird feeder is still here. He didn't take that. And this is, remember I told you I had a cute squirrel feeder? This is it. It's not assembled yet. Surprise. But I do have a toolbox in here, and it's got a lot of small tools, you know, things that he could have taken either to use or to sell. Things with some value, and he didn't take those either, so I don't know. It doesn't really look like he took anything. So I don't really even know why he was here.
When he finally left, the strangest part was what he took. Not electronics, not tools, not anything obviously valuable. He seemed to take small, basic items, like hand sanitizer, rubbing alcohol, and toilet paper. That detail made the whole thing feel different. It did not look like someone breaking in for money. It looked more like someone surviving outside, taking whatever they thought they needed. But that did not make it any less disturbing. A stranger had still walked through her camp, looked inside her tent, and entered the place where she normally slept. And that is what makes the footage so uncomfortable. Nothing violent happened. Almost nothing was stolen. But the feeling of safety was gone. Out in nature, a campsite can feel private, quiet, and separate from the rest of the world. But this camera showed the opposite. Even in the middle of the woods, someone can still walk out of the dark, enter your space, and disappear before morning. And that takes us to this next encounter, one that shows why isolation can be both beautiful and terrifying. Kasia is a Polish travel creator exploring Himachal Pradesh in northern India. She had been staying at a guest house in the mountains and was walking down a quiet path by herself when a local man approached her. At first, the interaction did not appear especially threatening. The man mentioned taking a picture, and Kasia initially believed he wanted her to photograph him, but that was not what he meant. He wanted a picture with her. Kasia had already taken countless photographs with strangers during her time in India. On this occasion, however, she simply wanted to walk alone without stopping for another conversation or selfie. So she politely refused and continued down the path. But the man did not leave. Instead, he began walking behind her.
Taking a picture. I don't want to take a picture with you. Can you stop following me? I don't like it. Cello.
She eventually pulled out her phone and began recording him. Almost immediately, his behavior changed, and he finally stopped following her. She later admitted that she had struggled with whether she should post the footage, but ultimately decided to share it to raise awareness. She explained that foreign women are not tourist attractions or objects for strangers to stare at and photograph. And while the man never physically touched her, the fact that he continued following a woman alone through the woods after she had repeatedly said no was disturbing enough. Kazia saw the man following her almost immediately. The next woman had no idea how long she had already been watched. Annabelle is a 30-year-old woman from France who lives in her van with her cat and regularly posts videos about her life and the places she camps across different forests and regions of the country. Her content mainly focuses on day-to-day van life and usually stays away from anything creepy. In this particular video, however, things took a turn when she experienced something that truly scared her for the first time. She parked her van in a parking lot and started hiking along a forest trail to visit a nearby village.
Mon pauvre estomac. Bon bah là c'est très mauvais signe, il commence à pleuvoir, alors c'est quelques gouttes. J'espère juste qu'il va pas pleuvoir de ouf. Vous imaginez quand même, ça fait 2 heures que je vous vante les mérites de ce village, je vous dis c'est vraiment incroyable, vous devez voir ça de vos propres yeux. Je vais vous y emmener, je vais vous montrer. Puis une fois arrivé là-bas, bon bah je vais ranger la caméra parce qu'il pleut. Google est votre ami, regardez des photos.
Annabelle spent some time walking around the village, and it was a really nice experience. It's a beautiful place. After a few hours of exploring, she returned to her van, got inside, and opened her laptop to start editing. That's when a man with no license plate on his vehicle came up to her door and asked her what time it was.
Vous voyez, Koda, il était attaché avec sa longe, même à l'intérieur, parce qu'il y a des chevaux dehors et j'ai peur qu'à tout moment il sorte. Normalement, il attend mon autorisation, mais avec lui, on ne sait jamais. Et donc, Koda était ici, et en fait, il y a le gars de la voiture sans permis qui arrive jusqu'ici. Koda, il sort. Normalement, il n'a pas le droit sans mon autorisation, mais bref, il sort. Il aboie pas après ce type, il fait rien de spécial. Donc, je ramène Koda, et puis le gars, il me dit est-ce que vous auriez l'heure? Bon, je lui dis quand même l'heure qu'il est, donc 19 h. Et en fait, je sais pas, du coup, depuis, il est dans sa voiture et puis il me regarde. Je comprends pas trop. Je sais pas s'il voulait vraiment l'heure. Est-ce que c'est une technique de drague? Est-ce que c'est pour venir regarder dans le camping-car? Du coup, moi, j'étais en train de faire ici mon petit montage. ELF sans alcool 0,0 toujours. Et ouais, je sais pas, depuis tout à l'heure, j'ai l'impression qu'il me regarde par la fenêtre et tout. Parce qu'en plus, on me voit étant donné que je n'ai pas fermé mes rideaux. Je sais pas, c'est un peu bizarre. J'aurais bien voulu passer une deuxième nuit ici, hein, si possible, et même de retourner faire un tour du lac, parce que c'est un grand lac de 9 km qu'on a fait tout à l'heure, et j'ai bien aimé, donc j'aimerais bien refaire une fois le tour. Et lui aussi, je pense qu'il aimerait bien refaire une fois le tour. Le truc, c'est que je suis pas trop à l'aise de laisser le camping-car ici, parce que je me dis, ça se trouve, le gars, il est un peu louche, et je suis pas trop rassurée.
She eventually decided to brush it off and go for a walk with her dog. But that's when she started noticing something unsettling. She was being followed by the exact same man who had approached her earlier and asked for the time.
Les amis, là je suis repartie faire le tour du lac. Le gars était plus dans sa voiture sans permis. Et en fait je m'aperçois qu'il est en train de me suivre dans les bois, quoi. C'est ultra rassurant. Donc j'ai ma petite bombe au poivre dans la main au cas où il faut intervenir. Comme Koda n'a pas trop réagi tout à l'heure quand le gars est venu pour me demander l'heure à ma porte. Et je sais pas, attendez. Je vais essayer de me retourner discrètement. Bon, je viens de regarder et en fait, le type, je vois sa tête dépasser en mode, il est en train de regarder si... là, on va pas le voir parce qu'il est caché derrière, juste là. Et en fait, il passe sa tête en mode, est-ce qu'elle avance ou est-ce qu'elle avance pas? Je joue un truc comme ça m'est jamais arrivé jusqu'à maintenant. Je suis tombée sur des types louches, mais là on est quand même à un stade où déjà le gars, ça faisait 1 heure qu'il était sur le parquet. Voilà, là il passe sa tête en mode il regarde si j'avance ou si j'avance pas, et là il me fixe. Je le vois là. Là il est en train de faire le balancier avec sa tête en mode il regarde. Attendez, je vais faire marche arrière, on va voir. Viens ici. Il y a un problème depuis tout à l'heure, monsieur?
Non, mais moi je connais courir, moi. J'habite ici. D'accord, non, mais parce que j'ai l'impression que vous me suivez un petit peu, non? C'est moi qui me trompe?
Pas du tout, madame.
Ouais.
Non, pas du tout.
Non, parce que j'ai l'impression que là, depuis tout à l'heure, je suis là et vous me regardez là.
Non, je vois les pêcheurs et tout, moi je vais avec les pêcheurs. Non, il n'y a pas du tout de problème.
Ouais, oui.
Ne vous inquiétez pas.
D'accord, d'accord, très bien. Bonne soirée.
Les pêcheurs, je viens tous les soirs, c'est pareil.
D'accord, oui.
Non, mais j'ai rien avec vous.
Allez, bien.
Je m'en vais à côté de non, c'est pareil.
Bon, du coup, voilà, bon, j'y suis allée au culot, tant pis, mais bon, moi, je devais savoir s'il y avait un problème ou pas parce que, enfin, c'est juste à moitié bizarre, quoi. Le gars, je sais pas si vous avez réussi à bien entendre, mais qui dit ah oui, non, je viens voir s'il n'y a pas des amis pêcheurs, tout ça. Déjà, s'il est d'ici et qu'il a des amis pêcheurs, bah, il doit déjà bien voir les voitures qui y sont. C'est-à-dire qu'il y a mon camping-car et une seule voiture qui appartient à une famille qui est venue promener son chien. Donc, voilà. Et fait bizarre, c'est pourquoi est-ce que quand je m'arrête, il est là plus loin derrière les fourrés en train de s'arrêter, en train de m'épier et d'avancer un peu au même rythme que moi. Faut arrêter de me prendre un peu pour une conne. Donc il me dit non, vous avez pas à vous inquiéter, tout ça.
Let's be honest, he was following her. There's no way he just happened to stay in his car watching her and then suddenly decided to go for a walk at the exact same time she did. He even stopped to play with her dog. I don't know if he intended something more serious or if he was just trying to hit on her, but it's clear he made her feel uncomfortable, especially for the first time during her van life experience. First, he interacted with her, then watched her from a distance, and then followed her into the woods. Yeah, that's nothing but red flags to me. But tell me what you think. She eventually confronted him, and he tried to act like he wasn't following her, but she was pretty sure he was. And honestly, I agree with her. Annabelle confronted the man before he could get any closer, but the next stranger became aggressive the moment he was questioned. What should have been an ordinary walk suddenly became uncomfortable when this woman realized that the same man had been following behind her for several minutes. At first, she tried not to assume the worst. They were walking along a public street, and it was entirely possible that he simply happened to be heading in the same direction. But every time she continued walking, the man stayed close behind her. Eventually, the feeling became impossible to ignore. She took out her phone and began recording.
I'm going for a walk, you followed me, and
Well, yeah, I mean, look at you, why wouldn't I follow you?
Please, like, I'm asking you nicely to please just back away from me.
Listen, that's not gonna happen, okay?
What is wrong with you?
What do you mean?
Listen, I am not the girl to be messing with. You can...
Instead of backing away, however, the man appeared completely unfazed. He continued following her and responded aggressively whenever she questioned what he was doing. Luckily, the woman had already messaged several of her friends and told them where she was. She hoped that one of them could meet her before the situation escalated.
I'd appreciate it if you walked away.
A hug?
Get the hell away from me.
Come on. What about a kiss?
What the hell is... What? Back up.
Come on.
Back up. Serious, like, get away from me. Here.
Are you shitting me?
Oh my god, he won't leave me alone. Get away from me.
Eventually, one of her friends arrived before anything more serious could happen. The stranger finally stopped following her, and the woman was able to leave safely. However, the video ends with a disturbing message. Her friend had not arrived as quickly as expected, and had the situation escalated only moments earlier, there may have been nobody there to help her. For many women, even something as ordinary as walking alone can become dangerous the moment a stranger decides that the word no does not apply to him. Luckily, this encounter did not escalate into something far worse, but the ones in the next clip does. That's all for today, folks. If you want to see more creepy content, click on the video on your screen.